Hey, what is up, y'all? Roman here, and today we have a brand new review from the newest design from Dressel Designs. This is the Emotion. Go ahead and check that guy out. It is absolutely stunning. Beautiful colorway here, and a lot to offer is what this yo-yo can be described as. So without further ado, I want to thank Patrick for sending this over for testing and review. It's always a pleasure working with you, and I'm just thankful to be able to make these reviews for you and everybody else who gets to view them, especially from a 5A perspective. So thanks so much, Patrick. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about the specs on this yo-yo. Although it's not released yet, it is 7075 aluminum. It has a gap width of 4.55 millimeters with a width of 46 millimeters, a diameter of 55.2, and it weighs 65.8 grams, which is very light and nimble. Probably a little average, but very nice. The colorway that I picked was hard to choose from all of them, but kind of like this pink and orange fade, and I have no regrets. There is a engraving on there. You can see that there. It's almost like a little emojicon there, or emoji. So Emotion. Yeah, very cool. Design wise, there is quite a bit of room weight on this yo-yo, which you can see right there. And the cup design has a little bit of a bubble here, which if you try finger spins, your finger will kind of go around that bubble, and it does line up. It's not the perfect dimple, but it is maybe not designed to be a finger spin only yo-yo, right? So a lot to offer with this guy. The width is very nice, offers a comfortable 5A catch, and very light when it comes to the weight, and very nimble both on the string and also in play. So this yo-yo has a lot to offer that reminded me of some other ones, and what I thought would be cool is to take some of our favorite designs from Dressel and go ahead and show you to compare. So first things first is, if you didn't have or haven't seen my Monarch review, this is the Monarch. Very cool hybrid yo-yo with aluminum rings and plastic body, and yeah, it really is very similar to the Emotion. And you can see that both have the little wing-shaped edges. The gap is very similar. Cups are very different, but you can kind of see where maybe I would compare these two. Also, one thing to note is that the gap is a little bit wider on the Emotion, just because this is going to be a much more performance-based yo-yo, so a little bit more gap allows for a little bit more string, less resistance. This one thing to note, I did play with fat string. I also play with XL. I prefer XL, but yeah, that's one thing to note. You probably don't want to use standard string with this. If you also are a fan of his other design, the 50/50, here is the Yo-Yo Expert colorway, I believe, kind of like a galaxy, and of course very different, but I want to show you that it almost fits directly in there. And yeah, there's a comparison if you have a 50/50. So just kind of wanted to bring that out. What it really also reminded me of is the Sugar Glider by One Drop. Both have that winged out kind of shape, and although they're very different, especially in the cups, they do both have like a bubble cup. So if you like bubble cups, hey, there you go. One more yo-yo to compare it to was the Evan Nagel. I can't remember which one this was. The Edge Beyond, maybe? I think it's a Beyond. And yeah, just a very similar shaped yo-yo as far as the rims go. The insides are very different. Cups are very different, obviously. But in case you have any of these yo-yos, I wanted you to kind of see what it looks like in my hands and compare it to a yo-yo that maybe you have, since this yo-yo is not out yet. When it comes to counterweights, what did I end up gravitating to? Well, we tried a bunch of different ones, but sometimes the looks just guide me towards one counterweight over the other on initial kind of review of a yo-yo, right? So when I saw this fade, I knew I had a counterweight to match it perfectly, and I want to show you. Do you guys have any guesses? Let's see if I can get that in focus. Any guesses? No? Okay, we went with a twist, or I think it's called the twist, with chunkies, and absolutely beautiful custom faded colorway on this one. And yeah, one of my very favorite counterweights. in general, this shape is very fun, offers a ton of grip and fun kind of aspects with this counterweight. So it ended up being a great pair, which is pretty cool. And one of the things I always like to do is give you guys other options. So Juan over at Chunky's sent me this guy, which is a huge Mora counterweight, and inside I have some other options. So I would say that this would be a good first option, which would be the Mora XL. If you have one of those, that's a really fun combo. I did try it out. It worked perfectly. The weight is very forgiving. When it comes to counterweight choices, you'll have a lot to play with. And so a little bit of a different counterweight would be this guy, which you guys probably have not seen in a while. But I was just like, this color just calls to me. So here is the Emotion and the Starship, and that would be a really fun combination there. I could see that being very comfortable in the hand and just offers a lot of fun. Now I just want to grab a few more as other options that you cannot go wrong with, which are cubes. If you have a cube by Chunky's, you can't go wrong, especially on this guy here. It's just going to line up perfectly with the weight of the Yoyo. Also, there are some power cubes that accept multiple beads. You don't need to use a bead on these, but you know, if you want to, you could. And there's other ones that have multiple bead setups if you wanted to do something like that. There's also the Mora that just really called to me when it came to this colorway. That is pretty, isn't that? Yeah, I thought so. Okay. And then lastly was Baya. Bayas are really comfortable counterweights, and they're in the berry series, I guess, the juicy series. And that just would be a very cool combo there. You know, of course, I always go for colors and dropping counterweights, but yes, that would be a really cool colorway there. What I ended up using most of the time was the twist, and so that kind of leads us into the play of the Yoyo, right? So let's go ahead and talk about it. So I'm gonna kind of talk about it and throw some B-roll up. Let's see if we can get this in focus. Perfect. All right, so really what we want to talk about is the design of this Yoyo. The catch being perfect, it really offered no kind of difficulties with catching, and didn't hurt any of my hand, both on the toss and the catch. The weight was very nice, didn't have a huge thump on the end of the string, and it really has kind of like this floaty, it's like mid-float, if you will, and also very nimble. The spin time was really good on this, and it has a very kind of fast feel. Now you can slow it down a little bit, but it's going to want to move, which is really cool. Now when it came to bee stings and things like that, zero trouble with it. It was perfectly kind of weighted to just get straight into aerials, get straight into flow. Like I said, the speed is kind of medium to fast on this. If you change the string length and the counterweight, you can kind of adjust that a little bit. But yeah, no problems at all. When it came to things like more technical style tricks, it really just continues to spin, and that wider gap offers a good amount of string that can be put into the middle, which doesn't happen a ton in 5A, but it does happen, and it's good to have a Yoyo that is forgiving in that aspect. So yeah, overall the Yoyo play was really, really fun and really good. I would compare it a lot to the Monarch in the way that it feels on the string, as far as how long spinning and powerful it is. Overall, this Yoyo really was very impressive, and I even tried it in 1A, which was very nice, and it almost has a very like comfortable smaller feel to it, which is interesting because it is pretty average when it comes to the size. So very cool on that, and that's really about it when it comes to the play. So Overall, this yo-yo is going to be one in my rotation for sure. I would say that it can almost be an interchangeable Monarch in a way, in that what you feel like playing, you know. So if you want something more plasticky, go with the Monarch. If you want something a little bit more sturdy, I would go with the Emotion. Design-wise, very comfortable in the hand and just an overall great yo-yo. And that's about it. It's fantastic. If you're going to get one, I highly suggest this colorway because it is beautiful. But there are plenty to choose from. If you guys know Dressel Designs, he always has a colorway that's perfect for somebody, and it always is hard to choose, which is a good problem to have. So Patrick, thanks again for sending this out for review. It really means a ton, and I'm just grateful for the opportunity to do that. Again, my name is Roman. I'm sponsored by Chunky's 5A Creative Counterweights. If you guys haven't checked them out, please do. Not sure when the next drop is, but just keep your eyes peeled, and I'm sure it'll happen soon enough. If you guys like what you see here and like the perspective of 5A and reviews of yo-yos and just different lifestyle in 5A, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and like if you like this video. Again, we'll see you on the next one. Thanks again. Have a good one. Roman, catch you on the next one.